something I've been wanting to do for a while is actually make a channel that is just locked in kind of around life, kind of advice type of stuff, but we could go more like faith centered as well. I don't really know, but let's get into the first video, man. This is one that I just kind of came across last Sunday, and let me tell y'all, oh my goodness, maybe best sermon I've ever heard in my life, like, if I'm gonna be honest with you. And now, the church I go to, before you need to understand anything, is not a sermon that is like, just preachy, like very good things and like, oh, come to Christ and your life will be perfect. Not at all. He dives into books of he goes verse by verse through every book of the Bible. So like we're in Genesis right now, and the one we just did, I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forget, bro, to be honest with you. But it was a very short verse, and it was basically just that God put Adam in Eden to work it, and basically, that was that. That was like the entire like text, and he made it into this beautiful sermon that was just crazy. Don't you love when you choke on your spit? No, I'm kidding. So basically, I'm not going to dive into the whole thing, but you kind of get the idea, right? So it's like, big sermon. And so the takeaway from it was, and the main thing that he talked about was work. And what's crazy with my generation specifically, and people, a little bit older than me, probably younger than me as well, I'm 17 years old, no problem sharing that, it's just work. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants a 9 to 5. Nobody wants to work a normal life. Everybody wants to get rich and get rich quick. And I'm going to be honest with you, that is largely due to social media. Those kids wouldn't even have that dream if it wasn't due to social media, right? You look online, within 5 videos, you see someone who's rich with a Lambo at 19 years old living in Miami, right? Like, so it makes sense how that dream has gotten like spread to so many kids. And that dream got spread to me. I'm going to be completely real with you guys. I wanted to be, and still kind of want, I'm navigating through this. Like, y'all are seeing the live process with me. But, yeah, basically, I still kind of want to be rich and also not to work a job. I'll explain something very, very quickly in the near future here, but that's a separate thing. So, what my pastor said was, when God put Adam in Eden to work it and keep it, he was told to protect the garden, right? So one of the earliest things, and this kind of like, this is a minor question in the grand scheme of Christianity, but one of the questions that I had was like, okay, well, let's say it's like a perfect world, no sin is in the world. How on earth did Satan even get there, right? Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would... And this was when I was going through, like, doubt stuff. Every Christian has gone through doubt. Maybe not. I don't know. I think a lot of people probably would. But it's doubt. And so I was like, all right, well, then how is Satan even in the garden if... You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was, like, perfect, there's no sin, right? And, like, Satan's evil. Like... So how is he there? One of his Adam's first commands to follow was to protect the garden. And so he failed to do that. That was one of the most early first major failure of Adam, what he was told to do on earth. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right or if that makes sense, but yeah, so that is how Satan actually entered through the garden, like with, in snake form, whatever. It sounds so funny because it sounds fake, but whatever. Kind of getting sidetracked here, but not really, right? So he was supposed to work, and he didn't do that, and that was one of the things that led to the fall later, which then, all this stuff happened. But basically, he then expanded from that verse in the Bible, my pastor expanded, into modern application in real life. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, this hit me like deep. He had a message for boys and a message for girls. I'm going to share both of them with you. But the first main thing, there were like 7 points. I gotta have it here somewhere. This actually might be it. Yes, actually it is. All right, yeah. So why things go wrong in work related like subjects was because of the curse that God put on man after he sinned. So that is like that's why things go wrong. That is kind of separate. Sorry. Let me like look over this real quick, Loki. Oh, I remember. All right. I'm gonna make this quick. To be honest with you, I don't want this to be any longer than 10 minutes. Maybe. We might be getting close. I'm not even sure. But listen, man. Here's the main thing, and I'll say the thing that he said for boys and the thing he said with girls. So one, work is not bad. Work is good, right? God designed man to work, right? That's why he put Adam in the Garden of Eden to work, right? To keep the land, to protect it, all this stuff. So work is good. That right? That's a lie we've been sold. It's like, oh, we don't want to work. We want to just get rich and dip and then just chill the rest of our life. Doing work is good. There is a difference in the work. Like if you are, oh, this was it. This was it. The biggest satanic lie. And if you're gonna take anything away from this video, it is literally this. The biggest satanic lie when it comes to work is that the value of your work is reflected through the money that you are making. And here's the best prime example. We're going to go with an Instagram model with millions of followers making, let's say, millions of dollars versus a missionary who makes what? Nowhere close to that. Is the IG model's work more valuable? Of course not. A missionary is bringing people closer to Christ and going out and evangelizing, and that is way more important than, you know what I'm saying, right? We could even go like OnlyFans. You could say that or whatever, but that was the biggest lie. And when he said that, it low-key hit me. Like, that's why it's so easy for the devil to corrupt people's minds. You know what I mean? Like you have like the quality of your work is not reflective of the income that you're making, and that's the crazy thing. You could literally sell courses online and make millions of dollars, but you're adding no real like value to the world. You know what I mean? Like, it's just crazy. Like, compared to like say you're a missionary, right? Like, you get the point. All right, moving on from that. But that was a crazy thing for me that kind of like made a light switch and like, dang, okay. Like, you want to serve others, right? As a Christian, you're called to serve others. So in whatever work field you are going into, do it with that mindset or framework, whatever you want to call it. Okay, two takeaways, one for boys, one for girls. I'm going to start with the girls. So the girls, I remember it. I'm sorry. I had to think for a second. That's crazy. For the girls, there is nothing wrong with desiring to be a home caregiver, home taker, home keeper, whatever you want to call it, stay-at-home mom. There is nothing wrong with that. In modern society, it is almost expected of you, or the new norm, to go out and get a job and do the work that a man should be doing. There is nothing wrong with that either. But if you desire to be a stay-at-home mom, there's nothing wrong with that as well. That is biblical. That is what women were doing. And literally, like, you could call it like stereotypical. That's literally, like, it's fine. You can do that. That is something that you are allowed to desire to be, right? Take care of the kids at home or whatever. So that was the like main takeaway point for the girls, like the message to girls, like young adult, my age type of girls, right? Then his message to the boys. Let me tell y'all, man to man or boy to boy, whatever you want to call me, to everyone else out there, every boy, man, whatever flip you want to call it out there. You know the feeling. You know the feeling when you are like, what do I do? Like, genuinely, what the flip do I do? I don't know what to do with my life. Because you have to think, like, Every man has gone through this. It's the, wow, I have 2 more years of school, then what? I don't want to go to college, don't want to work a job. I'm going to have to pick one thing for the rest of my life. That everyone's gone through that. So to maybe just get some like a Christian perspective on it, because work is not bad. Remember, here's the piece of advice. I'm not gonna hold it any longer. This is it. The last thing in the video. To the men, highly suggest going into trades. When I heard that first, I was confused. Pastor Matt, why would you say that? Why the trades? That's such an anticlimactic thing. It's not. What I'm going to tell you is the trades makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to be honest, if you don't know what trades are, it's all the like electrician and all the like plumber, like maybe landscaping, all that things you're doing with your hands. Brings me to my point. You get to feel the real impact of your work on other people, falls under the category of serving others. Immediately doing your job, you get to essentially work your way up to a point where you can work for yourself and you don't have to go into debt. So I'm not gonna lie to you, this is something that is in the back of my mind. I want this content stuff to work out. I'm working on lots of other channels, media things, whatever you want to call it. Just starting this one now. I want content to work out. I believe I was called to make content, maybe to evangelize. That's why I'm starting this one. It's going to be a bit of a journey. But if all of that doesn't work out, bro, landscaping might be calling my name. All I'm saying is he said trades, and at first it didn't make sense, but hopefully now it does to you. I'm not trying to like have a outro for this video, but listen, man, you are a man, you don't know what to do. You don't want to go into debt because college is crazy expensive. You don't know what to do when it comes to, having financial freedom. Listen, bro, you're not going to have guaranteed financial freedom. But again, that's not even the goal. Remember, like, work is a good thing. So working a trade where you can get to the point very quickly, that you're working for yourself, you're making good money, and you're serving other people. Checks all the boxes for at least me. I don't know, and at least my pastor as well, what he said. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all, that was it. That was the advice for the men, the clear takeaway. Remember also that the money you are making is not reflective of the value of your work. That's a tough pill to swallow, but that is the biggest satanic lie as well. So just want y'all to remember. Hope that could help someone out. If someone out there is my age, please leave a comment if it did help you. Like, I want to know that this is worth it for me, because like literally if I just help one person, like, I'm doing my job. That's what I want to do. And I think so that sermon was not last Sunday, but 2 Sundays ago. So I mean, it was great, man. Like, I went alone. My family wasn't in town. I was home alone, and I just went with my grandparents, and I was like, holy crap, so happy I went. I ended up telling the pastor after as well, like, very, very good sermon for me, which was kind of nerve-wracking, but it's chill. So hope y'all learned something. Hope y'all can take something away from this. I'm going to try to get a video or 2 out every single day. We're going to see if there's one later, but y'all, if you are excited and follow for the journey, please tag along. We're going to dive in like scripture stuff more, like more Bible study type of things. But this was just some advice thing. If you are young, you don't know what to do in the work field, hopefully this helped you. That's it for this one. I'll see y'all boys and girls next time. Peace.